Collected reading, say what you mean. So concerned with public image that nothing is real. They're about to pay a heavy price for living a lie. Please like, share, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you at your reading. Hi friends, my name is Griselle, Psychic MD, and I'm here to do another reading for you. And we are going to be doing a collective read, which is what we've been doing as of late. But before I get started, we're going to go ahead and play with fire. Kidding, kind of. So I want to thank those of you that are repeat offenders for stopping in to see what is going on. And for those of you new to my channel, I really appreciate your time, your energy, your effort. Thank you all for stopping by. And I do hope that everyone finds exactly what it is that you are seeking, whether it's help, insight, information, hope, encouragement, or amusement. Whatever floats your boat. I do have the sliding glass door open, so hopefully I will not set the fire alarm off, but you never know. So I already actually pulled intention today, and there was no intention on doing that, but it just so happened that, you know, that's how it worked. So the very first card that I pulled when I asked what we should be reading about today, so get that smoke there. Very first card I pulled was Say What You Mean. And it's really easy to be so dismissive of things that appear kind of like logical. You're like, what's the big deal? Say what you mean to say. But when you really think about it, I mean, unless you're on the clock and at work and you really have to be a certain way, at least in our personal lives, we should be saying what we mean to say. And for whatever reason, I feel like whoever, oh my gosh. Okay, this, I kid you not, this was like the before reading that I pulled. This is my little symbol for speak. Speak your truth, your voice. And I cast some charms as well, obviously, and I failed to put that one back. So, and that one also, by the way, was a jumper, and it landed on my new thingamajiggy here, whatever you want to call that. But say what you mean to say. And I feel like there's a lot of people that are not going to be thrilled or enthused about hearing this, just thinking it's like, well, yeah, I mean, I will speak my truth. I'll say what I need to say when the time's right, or when things are easy, or when things settle down, things change. And I really feel like you're not wanting to hear it. There's nothing in you at this point in time. I feel like you might even get pissed off about it. And it's like, well, I always do say what I mean to say. But this person's hand is on their sword, and she's almost like covering her ears. It's like, I don't want to hear it. And maybe perhaps saying what you mean to say really translates to you mentally, emotionally, into speaking and causing a fight, causing disharmony, causing heartache, headaches, causing anger. Excuse me. See, my voice is like going out. Crack. So there is definitely a need. And somebody's armed to the hilt, okay? I mean, you see that. This person is in full armor, and the other person seems to be dressed for something like beautiful and maybe casual at home, or who knows what. But whatever the case may be, they're totally on different pages. So maybe this could be suggesting that you are on totally different pages, or you believe you are on totally different pages with somebody that you need to say what you mean to say with. Now, the number one I have right here for me always really represents your individuality and how you come across, how you present yourself to the world, what your avatar looks like, for lack of a better way of saying it. Then I have the 8, and for the 8 to me is abundance, but it also means cycles, and sometimes it could be nervous cycles. So you could be, this could be a little bit like somebody who is ready to think that there's a battle, or quick to anger, or reactive, or you feel like you're dealing with somebody who is reactive potentially, okay? So that's something that needs to be spoken. And when I asked about what needed to be spoken about, this is what I got, is entrapment. So I feel like you're in a situation right here, and look at her eyes. I feel like she's saying almost like, you know exactly what we're talking about here. So if you claim kind of not to know, or this is a little bit too vague for you, I feel like your gut, your intuition will immediately tell you. And I also feel like for some of you, some of us, that might put us on the defensive, by the way. But you even have here like the Dr. Death, or I forget what he's called. Oh my gosh. But anyways, pestilence. Well, anyways, it'll occur to me once I go to, let me wipe down this card. When I go to edit this. But if you look, oh, that was so much worse. Don't put lotion on G before you do your readings. Okay. Anyways, the point of the matter is I feel like you're sleeping with one eye open. Somebody else could be feeling like they're sleeping with one eye open. They could even feel like, metaphorically, guys, this is like almost like the touch of death, okay? Or even the kiss of death, if you want to look at it that way. And I'm wondering, I feel like this has to do with a pair, a couple, but someone feels like even speaking their truth is something that is going to free them from entrapment, free them from cycles, free them to be their own individual person. And I feel like even with this thing in the back, I don't know what that's really called. I won't pretend to know. But I feel like your abundance will return once you start speaking your truth more freely and more intentionally. So I do realize that a lot of times we have to kind of play nice with others. And, you know, we do what we got to do. But if you're living a life, and I feel like this is where it pertains to a lot of us, is living a lie. So maybe you're not expressing yourself to someone. Maybe you're in a situation where you're staying with a partner that you're no longer in love with or wanting to stay with, or maybe there's some hard truths that this partner needs to know, or vice versa. Whatever the case may be, I feel like even with her gown being blue, it's almost like she's like, oh, I'm resting, but she doesn't see Dr. Death behind her. But not true. You know, she's fully aware that this person is there with his wand, ready to just maybe even pull the plug, metaphorically, of course. So I have the number 3. This could involve third party. If the shoe fits, then you understand where this is headed. If that's not you, then stay with me for just a moment. So it could be third party. It doesn't have to be romantic, like somebody shooting on somebody, but it could mean somebody interfering, perhaps. For example, like a mother or a best friend, or somebody in the ear of you or your significant other that's interfering within the relationship. That could be third party. So what else? I do feel like there's, again, even she looks defensive, and, you know, I get that. Your person, the person that you're with, or maybe that you need to communicate with, could have like long hair, long dark hair, something about their hair that really can draw you to them as well. But there could be a lot of silence. There's not a lot of speaking, a lot of movement, or a lot of like real interaction. There's just a lot of defensive and hostility and intent. Now, when I asked what this was over, this is a card that we have. And so we have sexuality, and it is the vibration. Well, it is the number 4 right here. Let's see if this will hold up. So anyways, this could have to do with your actual life, your S life. I'm trying to be a little bit, yeah, not so vulgar maybe. But anyways, this could have to do with your sex life. This could have to do with just like living your truth, what you find attractive, what it is that you are drawn to. Maybe you're drawn to a whole different scenario and you need to let your partner know, hey, I'm not feeling this anymore. Whatever the case may be. I'm looking at the soles of her feet. Somebody can have actually some kind of a foot fetish or some kind of a kink from the soles of the feet. It's a thing. Don't ask me. Look it up yourselves, okay? But this could be also like looking behind, maybe what you left behind, or a situation or person that was left behind, or you feel like you were left behind. But this appears, it's like you want to pursue your sexuality, sensuality, with the number 4 right here being echoed with the entrapment. So it's the stability. I feel like maybe you're being entrapped by stability. Number 4 to me is always like the 4 corners of the earth, the 4 corners of your home, your foundation, the things that you build upon, the things that have been established of old, of long, And this can mean relationships, establishments. I'm getting confirmation of my crown chakra. So if this is striking a chord, I feel like you'll immediately know if this is your reading. If it's not, that's fine. No worries. I have a bunch of other reads, or you can always find another reader, of course. But hopefully you'll stick with me. So the number 4 right here, interestingly enough, look at me pretending like I can math. Anyways, so I have the 4 right here, and then the sensuality right here, you know, 2 4s right here, but 4 and 4, then we have 8 right here. And I feel like we're in a loop. I feel like you're just entrapped about like, oh, this is really stable for me, and we've always done things this way. This is my partner. And one time I went on a date with someone, and they told me, and I didn't know at all that this person was married. And this person's like, oh yeah, well, by the way, I am married, but I can't leave my partner because they have health issues. I would never do that to her. And I thought, what? You wouldn't do that to her, but you would like cheat behind her back? I mean, get out of here with that. Anyways, whatever your deal is or ordeal is, okay, I feel like this has an involvement in your stability. I heard refinery. Okay, so maybe you have like the luxurious lifestyle, whatever the case may be, but whatever's going on in your home is pretty rocky, pretty cloudy. And also there's not a lot of like beautiful energy between you guys. Okay, so anyways, getting back to number squirrel, I'm adding the numbers right here, and obviously I get the number 8 right here, which is a pattern. And this is a repetitive pattern between you and your partner, or you and an establishment, and it's regarding your foundation, both of you guys' foundations, things that you've always done in a certain manner. And I feel like someone in this connection is really tempted to really say what they mean to say. Say what you mean. And it's time to speak. And it's time, you know, if you feel like you have to like gear up and dress up for battle in your own home or in your relationship, I totally get that. Like, I'm hoping to create an atmosphere of non-judgment. Once upon a time, I was married too. And I felt that way. I felt offensive. Like I knew if I brought up a subject, we're going to fight. We're going to have it out. We're going to hash it out. There's going to be, you know, knee-jerk reaction from the other party or whatever, or my own. And I knew that drama would ensue. So basically, this is, you know, about you feeling entrapped. And I feel like there's a desire to want to get away, to leave, to put an end to the situation, an end to the partnership. And this partner is not having it. This partner is like, hail to the no. You are, you know, in it to win it with me. We're together. We have property together. We have money together. We have kids together. We have whatever it is that you have together. And yet your stability, I feel like you're looking at it, or both you're looking at it, is like your stability is being threatened by sensuality. And I feel like one of the comebacks could be like, wow, you're really going to leave the situation or think about doing something different simply because of some tail. And I know that was crass and I was trying not to go there, but here we are. That's how my brain works. I could blame it on spirit, but it's just me, okay? Anyways, I'm looking right here at her hair, and to me, it almost looks like the 3 arrows. And when I think of 3 arrows, I think of the broken heart, you know, the 3 of swords. And this could be something that's very piercing to the soul. Now, bottom of the deck that I have right here, and I happen to look at these just now because I didn't pull them earlier, I do have family and tribe. So whatever the cycle is, it involves family, it involves your tribe, it involves status, it involves how you are seen, how you're seen as an individual, how you're seen or perceived as a couple, or how you perceive that you are perceived. Okay, was that like a squirrel rant? Yes. But I'm gonna say, you know, it's like these people are like really polished and they're ready for their photographs, and they are, you know, beautiful from head to toe, and maybe they had a little bronzer going, and maybe they got a little, I don't know, like skin treatment to make them look their best, or whatever the case may be. They're picture perfect, even if they are in a cave. So I'm going to propose to you that maybe perhaps you're living in a situation where you feel like it's cloudy. It could be toxic with all the clouds. It's like you can't see. It's almost like living in fog, but also within a cave. Nobody knows what's really going on behind closed doors. And that's because we're hiding it with what? With masks. We're not being really honest with ourselves. We don't look at ourselves in the mirror, and we really don't want to kind of address issues that make us uncomfortable, because then if you admit it, it's like, well, what do I do now? Like, yeah, you know, got to do something about it. But I feel like you could be really well off in this connection. You could see that, like maybe in the community, you are looking at, you're looking at a couple that, you know, has some really good community connections or good standing in the community, whatever the case may be. Maybe you guys even volunteer to do things within the community. So this reduces to 2, and I get, you know, personal power. And this could also be teamwork. So this could be saying, you know, we've always been a team, but it is dark right here. It is like a cave and nobody can come in. And once upon a time, that was like awesome. And it was kind of romantic and we lit candles. And even though it was a cave, it was our cave and it was fun. But even here, they don't appear necessarily like outwardly hostile, but it doesn't feel cozy. Like I don't feel welcome for sure. So I'm going to suggest that again, the home environment is not all that it's cracked up to be. It might really look shiny on the outside, but on the inside, things aren't going super well. And there's definitely a need to speak your truth. And that's how you're going to find your personal power and your balance. Okay. Another card that I pulled prior to the reading, I asked, what are we going to read about? More information, please. And the answer I got was masks. And I feel like this is definitely in line with what it is that we're discussing today. This is about your appearance, how you come across to others, how you yourself view yourself in the mirror. And maybe you have, you know, a beautiful, I don't even know why I'm thinking this way, but a beautiful pony at home. Maybe, you know, your partner's like a beautiful pony or a beautiful unicorn, and that's what drew you to them initially. And for whatever reason, I'm going to say sexuality has kind of tunneled or plummeted, or it could also be being used for manipulation, like manipulative tactics, in order to get another partner to do or stay or to do what it is that they want. But regardless, the mask really needs to come off so that you can actually experience some relief and happiness. So maybe this whole situation can turn around simply by speaking the truth. And of course, this is not to replace therapy. Get you some therapy. Try to make it work. Do whatever it is that you got to do. I'm not here to lecture, but I always believe in, like, you know, doing your best until the last nail is in the coffin. I always feel better because at least I walk away saying, hey, I did my best, and that was it. You know, it is what it is. So moving on. The masks are here. Show me what I need to see about the situation. I heard painful, silence. So someone's not able to express their truths. Somebody could be listening to a lot of music currently. Somebody could be actually wearing earphones around the house just to kind of drown out the loneliness and the silence and the, I feel like the oppressive air quality, but that's not what I mean. Energetically, okay, the oppressiveness that you feel. Memories. Okay, so you are definitely diving into some memories. What about memories? Memories of home. And that goes back to like what it used to be or what we thought home was, right? And it's a radical difference between what it is right now than perhaps what it was, or you dreamt it what it was going to be. And I'm hoping that this makes sense. So once upon a time, I feel like this was a dream. It was going to be a beautiful home. It was a castle. It was going to be, you know, defendable on all fronts, and everything was like really planned. And deep waters, I feel like this was like a dream. And it was maybe even a dream that's been handed down generationally. It's like, that's what you do. You get married, you get partnered, and then you build this beautiful home, which is your castle. And then you become king and queen, or king and king, or queen and queen. I don't care, whatever. We don't read sex, we just read energy. And yet throughout the years, or as time has evolved, what it's really turned into has been a cave. And not even like a bat cave with like cool gadgets and things like that, but just a dark, dank place to be, where you're literally sleeping with one eye open. Yeah, that's not good at all. And so maybe you guys are going down memory lane when you thought that things were going to go better and things like that. Yeah, this definitely has to do with a commitment. And I feel like maybe you're questioning your commitment, and or questioning someone else's commitment, questioning someone else's loyalty, something like that. Let's see what else we have. Yep, I just saw loyalty. Okay, we'll see if it comes back out. Show me what I need to see for this connection here. What about taking off the mask, the need to say what you mean and mean what you say? What's going on here? More information, please. More in-depth information to help and show me now. 2 cards, nurture. So there's a need to nurture the situation. But first of all, it's like a need to be upfront and just to be really, really real. Okay, if your partner can't take like being real, then I would start questioning, is this a good partnership at all? Options. Okay, so maybe now I feel like, yeah, I feel like you're the person perhaps looking at different options and reaching for different keys and looking and saying, hey, maybe these different keys are going to open up different doors to that castle. And maybe perhaps it doesn't matter, you know, what people think of me or my reputation or the losses, because living in a hollow, empty shell of a life or a home or whatever is just really not for me. Okay, got a couple of card flips, anticipation. Yeah, and so maybe you're gearing up to even talk to this person about the matter, and there's a lot of anticipation, a lot of angst going on with it. And maybe there's angst about talking about a home. Maybe there's a need to, there were a ton of keys, so maybe you're looking at moving out or getting different roommates or different living situations, or maybe you need to sell the house and split the profits, whatever the case may be. I definitely feel like this involves that home and many doors. Yeah. So you're definitely cautioned to proceed with wisdom. I feel like somebody can have actually documentation on, you know, any infidelities or things like that, if that's a thing in your partnership. And I don't know if that can even come up or if that's super old school. That's how much I know about the law system. Y'all know. But regardless, use some wisdom as how to proceed, because I do feel like people have receipts on you. And a gift. Okay, so maybe you gave a gift or you're wanting to give a gift, and there could be some receipts there. So you may want to be cautious. I don't know what that has to do. Okay, it has to do with dreams. Has to do with what it is that you want. Maybe returning and having like a stable sexuality, having things go in a certain way that you think is going to create great bond and things like that. And I've got 2 little rings right here. So maybe this is looking at the partnership and trying to fix things and maybe go back to, yeah, mending what is. So I feel like you're looking at your options, and you know, one of the options are to continue trying to mend what it is that you have, but there is a desperate need to speak your truth. And if you don't, things are just going to get more toxic and worse. I feel like there's even a lot of just negative words being said at home from both parties. Then I have heartbreak. So maybe there's a fear here of you getting your heart broken, the other person getting heartbroken with ending the current situation. But I do feel like no one is happy. This person is like, I'm sitting pretty and beautiful. And this person could be very, very calculated in how they proceed with you. They know that sexuality is a great way to kind of snare you or kind of master you, kind of dominate you. And you may say, well, yeah, that's totally not, you know, how it goes. But if you really kind of pull up your little spidey sensors, I think that you're going to see where this person kind of starts wearing their hair a little bit more like the way you like it. And the attire around the house is not as like casual. It's, you know, they're after something. So don't think that having a person with an agenda, and I feel like it's a very shrewd agenda, comes without a cost. So working on your partnership is one thing, but utilizing, you know, your sensuality, sexuality to be able to manipulate, to keep the 4 corners of your home together, or for them to keep their property or whatever, that is definitely, I feel like, a strategy that this other person is trying to come up with. They could also just like lay down and just kind of pout and try to be like very beautiful and alluring. I don't know, like if you're a butt person, they would just kind of lay in front of you and kind of show their best figure to you, for lack of a way of saying it any other way. Blah, 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 blah. Okay, yearning. So yeah, this is like a desire that you have for some reason. Okay, look, and she's got this like apple, and it's like, okay, do I bite into this apple? So there's a deep desire there for change, and maybe you're yearning and looking back at memories and whatnot, and it's like, do I bite the apple? Unbreakable bond. Yeah, do I go into something different, or do I stick with my unbreakable bond here? And, you know, this is all formal. This is formalities. There could be a lot of like paperwork attached to you. They could be, you know, friends attached. You could have a friend group or whatever that knows you only as together as a unit, as a couple, whatever the case may be. Or people could really look up to you and you're like, okay, I can't like break this bond, whatever this bond is. There's many reasons. I don't doubt that there are many reasons. Oh, that's funny. Yeah, because maybe you feel like this person once upon a time was perfect. You felt like they were perfect. They presented the perfect picture. But what you didn't see is the deviousness behind that. We're going to explore that in just a moment. The level of destruction that this person is willing or has brought to you, and you this whole time in pursuit of thinking that this was a perfect person for you. I feel like you didn't realize that you had been entrapped or ensnared until it was way too late. Show me more about this person, this entrapment, this person that's pulling strings behind the scenes, manipulating, watching everything. What is going on with this entrapment? This person, I feel like it's more of a female figure for most of you. King of Swords, yeah. So you already know what this is about. And in order for things to really change and transpire, look at the butterfly right here. You need to wield that sword of truth and you to cut everything out in order to free yourself. There's no easy way about this. And it's not like you came to this channel to seek some kind of a miracle solution. I definitely don't flatter myself that much, right? But you need to speak your truth. Like the King of Swords speaks their truth. And with that, I feel like you're going to have a new foundation. Something new to look forward to. Something that is actually going to be solid and stable. And there is a need to make a decision at that point in time. So you could be somebody who really juggles things really easily. You could be quite a bit of a show-off juggling. Look at those like impractical shoes. And you know, presumably this is like sand or some kind of a, I don't know, looks like sand to me. But there's a need to go ahead and make a decision. You can only juggle for so long before those coins and those pentacles bite you. Bottom of the deck. I love these cards. So we have the Nine of Pentacles right here. And this is somebody who is single. Look at that pentacle. It's almost like maybe they're saying, okay, my own artwork is a new beginning, and this is how I sustain myself, or I have everything I need, and what can you offer me? Like, are you going to come at me sideways type thing? And I feel like that's even attached to that alluring, the sexuality part. So maybe you have a current partner and another partner that you are needing to make a decision on. Now, this is one of my favorite cards in this deck. Cracks me up. Look at that look. And it's like, what? Are you talking about me? But usually this is my little, can I say the word horny? I don't think so, but I did. Yeah, so this is my young page, basically, who really thinks with this magic wand. And this page really thinks that they bestow the magic wand on anyone and everyone. It's almost like it's, yeah, with these flames, it's like, okay, this robe, and the flames on this robe will consume not just me, but they'll consume you. So something very fiery and a new beginning with that. But I look at, there might even be a connection with like ancient Egypt or those kinds of rituals and traditions. And maybe you're into doing some rituals. No judgment here. That's your thing, whatever your thing is. But I definitely feel like there is a focus on, yep, on sex. And then we have Three of Swords. So this was basically what's embedded in this person's hair. In this person's hair. So we do have the Three of Swords, and I kind of felt that right here. So this could be, you know, feeling like you're betraying somebody, or they feel betrayed by you. But there's stormy clouds, and take a look here. I feel like there's already been cheating going on. That's why you have all the receipts going on here. And I feel like this could even be mutual cheating. And I feel like maybe perhaps you didn't know that this other person was up to their own issues and, you know, doing their own thing as well. I mean, this, Hair doesn't seem to be put together, like it almost feels like it's been tussled. But I have the Three of Swords, kind of like what I was feeling right here on her mind. So maybe on top of this person's mind is betrayal, and it is heartache, and it is heartbreak. And if you look, the storm just looks exactly the same as what is brewing behind the scenes. And both of you can feel it. And there's a discussion, because swords are always words. And it's going to be a matter of whether you choose to speak them in a gentle way, in a caring way, and try to be like upfront and honest, or if you're just going to like do your thing and not care how your words hit, right? So that's something. Not for many, but for one or two of you, somebody can have a heart condition or be troubled by a past heartache, heartbreak that they've never been able to actually let go of. Now I have the Ten of Pentacles. This is my family card. This does have to do with family. This has to do with somebody who is very direct normally. But this person is also an observer. I feel like that's you. And people are loyal to you, look to you for direction. People typically look to you as far as like how to react, how to behave, what to do, even what to paint, what is acceptable. So you have a lot of you have a lot of say and sway in people's lives, and maybe in this whole household thing and how other people look at you. I do feel like people tend to like their back snaps in attention when you walk into a room and things like that. And you could have, you know, maybe even two people, like one person looking away from you that's loyal, and the other one just like looking at you adoringly all the time. So I do feel like there's been quite a bit of cheating here. This is not good. Patience. So you could be saying, okay, I need to have patience in order to make things work, in order to proceed, in order to grab my horse and make a move, similar to the Chariot. And it's divine timing. So you could be like, literally, okay, the time is right when, ding, cuckoo. The time is right, you know, so maybe you're waiting for something, whatever it is that you're waiting on. You know that it's going to be with that, you know, having to say something and waiting for the shoe to drop. But I feel like you're also excited by the same token. So maybe a little bit of fear, anxiety, but also excitement for what the future brings. And I feel like you're finally looking at yourself and being the most authentic you that you have been in a long time. Looking in the mirror and saying, this is really what I want, and this is where I want to head, and this is how I see it unfolding. And looking with excitement and with optimism. And I feel like you haven't looked or felt that way in a long time because you're not expressing your true feelings. Interesting that that's a mirror as well. Lost. Yeah, because you've been feeling maybe at a loss of how to express things in a certain way, or not wanting to kind of shatter the life that you made together. Mirrors also have to do with like portals and also with like illusion. You know, when I think of like smoke and mirrors, but also looking at yourself directly in the eye in the mirror and saying, okay, this is my ish. I need to deal with it. Show me what I need to see. Why are these cards here for the collective? And please, if you're resonating with this, like, share, comment, subscribe. That would be nice. Show me what I need to see for the collective, and show me now. Grieving. And you could be grieving right now. And I feel like you're grieving right now because you're kind of stuck in a situation here and trapped. And yet you know that this is going to cause someone else heartache. But don't be deceived. I also heard snake in the grass. I feel like this person is, look, similar expression. This person's like, I heard they don't give two Fs. And it's more about what they have. Interesting. More than heartache. Maybe you're worried about the wrong things. I don't know. But I have the Four of Cups here. She just looks like, you know what? I don't even want that stupid cup anyways. That's what that tells me. She's like, I have 3 cups here. Emotion, partying, you know, drinking. I have what it is that I need, and I'm in my own circle or in my own little atmosphere here. I don't need you reaching through and offering your apology, offering your little dose of love. Because look, this is the Page of Cups, and this is like a young love, or a very, I don't want to say immature, but just like, oh, you know, I really, you know, you're my girl, or I really care about you, or, you know, I always come back to you, that kind of a thing. It's like reaching in, trying to penetrate her home, basically. And I think it's technically both of yours home, maybe have separate bedrooms, whatever the case may be. But that offering, that apology, that Ace of Cups, it's like she don't want it. How I know she doesn't want it? Look. Same expression. Same expression. It's like the I'm bored. I don't really want to do this, but I'm not letting go because things are good. I have beautiful things. I have a beautiful home. And we've always done it this way. So you could have something from childhood calling you back, or a person from childhood, or maybe you're thinking about visiting your childhood home or your old stomping grounds that give you comfort, that give you like a feeling of nostalgia, or yeah, or even a person that you want to head towards. But you want to head towards something that makes you feel like you did when you were young. Is it virile? Vitality, whatever. You get the point. But with the Six of Cups, this is all about nostalgia and about kind of dreaming. And this is about giving from a bigger space, kind of like recreating those emotions. So way back when we were innocent. And this is about you wanting to take a chance, take a dive into the unknown, and willing to just kind of walk over the cliff all cheerful. And this dog's like, hey, better watch it. But I even look at her like she's super athletic, looking super good. You could be somebody who's like really athletic, who likes to work out. Maybe you wear like tighter clothes so people can really see the outline of your body, that kind of a thing. Yep. And you are ready to get rid of the burdens. Look at all this. This is root chakra. That goes back to number 4 we've been talking about at the opening of this reading. That is all about your stability, about home, hearth, how I take care of my finances, my bills, my family, and things like that. So what makes you feel secure? And it's all red. And you've been carrying more than your fair share. So I feel like you're tapped out and you're pretty much done carrying the wands for everybody. It's almost like one foot in front of the other of responsibility. And I feel like you're wanting to leave in order to have more joy in your life. Okay. And how's that going to happen? Queen of Swords, you're going to cut out everything that, goes back to that King of Swords too. Yeah, cutting out things that no longer bring you joy, things that aren't on the same page as you. And you know, people do outgrow each other energetically, spiritually, mentally, emotionally, vibrationally, whatever. So we do outgrow each other. When it's time, it's time. And when it's time to move on, that's okay too. But I don't know, I think we tend to cling too much to people. Yeah, I've been guilty of it too. So the Queen of Swords is also can talk about someone who is quick to cut people off, like this person over here with the sexuality. And you could view them as a warrior, like similar to yourself, in fact. Let's kind of move this here. So this temptation or this other person, I feel like it's a little bit like Joan of Arc energy. But this person could have like really clear eyes or have a lot of like an air of innocence to them, and yet be so alluring and so sexy. And I feel like they're super truthful as well, but the tip right here is missing. So it could be, you know, that they haven't fully spoken the truth, or you haven't like spoken to the point where you've gotten the truth, whatever that means to you from this person. Yep, you're waiting, tick tock, tick tock. So I have that. And also somebody can be on somebody's TikTok doing a little bit of spying. Things like that. Yeah, you're checking the weather, checking the atmosphere by looking at social media. You're dressing incognito for the occasion, and yet you're prepared. You're like, you know, if I got to walk through kind of this valley, I got the right shoes, I got the right, you know, whatever. I have everything that I need. Guess what? We're ending the reading right here. Yeah, so you're totally prepared. You have everything that you need. It's just a matter of making a decision. And I feel like with the Six of Wands, this is you being much celebrated. People also acknowledging that you've been through some tough stuff, some hard times. And I don't feel like you're after that, because honestly, I kind of feel like you know, this has all been on the down low. Maybe not a lot of people know about this. But I feel like people could have heard you guys fighting or arguing or seen the strife or seen the silence for themselves. And I feel like you're going to have a lot of people celebrate you with like, say, hey, hope you're, you know, headed towards a better path or doing better, where even confetti's being thrown at you, like you're, you know, the presidential warrior right there, or something to that effect. So I feel like brighter skies for sure. A lot of communication. The confetti to me is like fun and parties and excitement, and being somewhere where you are well received. So that is what I have for you. I want to thank you so much for your time once again, and until next time, namaste.